Yeah, man, tap in tight, you know what I mean? Man, so part of keeping the growth mind state is always trying to grow, man, within yourself. As I've continued this process to become a superhuman, you know, being ultimately the best person I can be, being self-aware of myself and knowing things and trying to get over things. So one of the major things in my life that's always plagued me is being able to forgive. Being able to forgive is tricky, you know. You gotta let things go to truly forgive somebody for what they've done. You have to let it go. You have to, I guess, in a way, accept it for what it is. And then you got to release the emotions that are categorized with it, that are with it, the feelings that you feel, the reason why you can't forgive. For me, one of the major things that I never realized, but was all a blocker for me as far as attachment, is the attachment to my blood family. Not specifically the ones that are in my age group, but the older generation. I had a hard time attaching to them because I wasn't really around them a lot. I was some as a child. When I was younger, I'm thinking in between, between 1 and 10. I do remember being around them. Their influences on me wasn't the best. They're involved in a lot of things that was not a positive. There wasn't a lot of positive reinforcements going on. Also, after being in foster care, I always was upset because, I'm going from foster home to foster home and my siblings are all split up, and I felt like the older generation in my family, my bloodline, was not doing anything. I felt like they weren't around. I felt like they weren't coming to help, try to help me get out of foster care, give me somewhere to stay. I did stay with my grandmother for a time, and that was rough for me. I think my grandmother dealt with first of all, she was bipolar, dealt with some depression. And then she was older, trying to raise me, my brother, my sister, my 2 cousins all in the house. And I was the oldest at the time, and it was just tough. It was tough. She was a drinker. I mean, that's where I actually started to actually drink. I actually tasted my first beer. It was when I was a kid living at her house. But she also was abusive, both physically and emotionally. And so I ran away when I actually was there, just like I ran away from multiple foster homes. I just couldn't do it, you know what I mean? I had this thing about if I didn't like something when I was younger, I'd just run away. I'd rather live on the streets and just find some, fend by myself and figure things out. Being 10, 11, 12 years old, running away from places, and with some cold nights, But, it was a gift and a curse living with her, because a lot of things that she instilled in me, though, and what she was saying, I didn't quite get because I was too young. I didn't quite process it. Now, she was a drinker. So I don't even know how I ended up. This is not why I turned on the video to talk, but anyway, I guess we're gonna talk about Grandma Dolores. She was a drinker, man. She was a thinker, also, though. She was born with a veil over her face. They say that she could see things, a bit of a psychic. And she would always just go so hard on me, like it was crazy. Like I was a real sensitive kid, you know what I mean? Like when people yelled at me when I was little, I would like cry, you know what I mean? I would get emotional, I would cry. I would cry over everything. I cried when I was mad, I cried when I was hurt, I was just a crier. Not bawling, it just tears, you know what I mean? Not the screaming, yelling, that type of cry. I would have tears. I get watery eyed when I get upset. If someone was upset with me, I'd get upset. I would cry. And she used to go in on me about that. You need to stop crying, you're no sissy. She used to go in on me. And she always used to tell me, you know, you're not gonna be shit. You're gonna end up like your mother. You're gonna end up like your dad. You're gonna end up like your aunties and uncles. You ain't gonna be shit. You're lazy. She would just go in on me. There's a couple times where she put hands on me. I remember a vivid time where her and her boyfriend were hitting on me, and I ran and tried to lock myself in the bathroom. They busted open the door, beat my ass, you know. And I was young. Right around then is where I start channeling pain, physically pain, into something else. I stopped crying. I start just holding it in, which began a long cycle of dealing with pain and not letting no one know about it. But also, I don't even know why I'm sharing this, but anyway, so it took a long time for me to deal with that and forgive family. My grandma passed away when my freshman year in college. And I was hurt. I came back from the funeral. I hadn't talked to her in years at that point. You know. But I did write a song called Pain. It was like my first song I ever wrote that I actually recorded in the studio. I did that in California, San Jose, California, man, in a closet with a red light. It's dark, you know what I mean? I was actually in the studio though. Shout out to Jay Steele. You know, still my guy to this day. But he blessed me with the opportunity to let the pain out. Song called Pain. But anyway, in that, where was I going? In her passing, I mean, I had some type of pain, but I felt, because I had cut her off, because I felt like because of the abuse that I was dealing with, I still missed her and loved her. She was gone, you know what I mean? So it's like I didn't really get to have that conversation as I was maturing into a young man, to actually understand, as I began to understand why she was pushing me so hard. She was also the one that told me that I was gifted. She told me that I was different, that I was meant to do things that no one else was supposed to do. And she would get upset with me when I didn't pursue things. Because like I said, man, I was a timid, whiny kid, you know what I mean? And she would get upset with me when I didn't try things and I wouldn't go hard. She would cuss me out, kick my ass, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy like that, but it was a tough love. Tough love that now I know I needed it. I'm not saying all the abuse and the physical abuse and all that, I needed that, but I did need tough love because this world's cold. And it kind of prepared me for the way the world was going to treat me as a black man. You know, she knew what I was up against. I had no clue. I didn't. I had no clue what was going to happen. I believe she knew. Like I said, they said she was psychic. She was born with the veil over her face. She could see things. Around that time, she used to always tell me to follow my emotions and follow my heart, because that's what's going to lead me the right direction. Everybody says it, but I mean, not everybody says it, but people are told this all the time, and they don't do it. So there was good things and bad things when it comes to that. But I think when I was talking about this, I know what I'm talking about. When I actually forgave my grandmother, but it was too late because she was gone. So I had to forgive her in a spiritual way. And that actually happened about a year ago, when I sat and I talked to her. I was looking at a picture of her, and it gave me some type of relief. I began to grow because I forgave her for the way I was raised and the things that were said to me and the abuse. I forgive her because I know she was going through turmoil and going through things. You know what I'm saying? She was also a teacher. She was an intellectual woman also. So she was a substitute teacher for years. I want to say over 20 years she was a teacher. So, you know, I think that's what a lot of my coaching aspect of what I do, because coaching is basically you're a teacher. You're teaching the game, you're teaching life. So I followed in those footsteps. But I just wanted to, you know, I had to come to the conclusion she's not the only one I needed to forgive. You know, I got aunties and uncles that I was upset with for years. And I think it caused a rift in our relationship as now we're adults. Not that I think of it often, or I'm like, or I was like, why didn't you come back and get me when I was in foster care? It's nothing like that, because all those things, I think it made me grow to the man I am today. That's the reason why I'm the father I am. That's the reason why the person I am, the husband I am, you know what I mean? So I don't regret none of that. It was tough, but I don't regret none of that. But as far as me trying to grow further into this superhuman that I'm trying to be, it's I gotta forgive them also. And I never even thought about it. But that's why I'm not so attached, like emotionally, because I was upset for years. And I just let it fester and then just sit in the back of my head. So this morning I just want to get that out there, man. I gotta forgive. I gotta forgive them, you know, and I do forgive them. You know, and I don't even know if they ever think about it, or maybe they do. But, you know, I've talked to them every now and then, and, you know, they'll tell me they're proud of me and the person I've become. And so that's a great thing. But for me, I had to acknowledge the forgiveness, man. I have to let it go, just so I can grow. It might be something major, it might be something minute, but it's got to be growth, because I can't hold that in. It's not something that's out in the forefront, but it's back there. It's back there, and I know it's back there because it came to my mind all week, like in the middle of me thinking and processing my day and working and everything. It's come to my mind, forgive family. So today is the day. I forgive them for everything. It's not, you know, everybody's going through things, and I don't know. I mean, I know for me, at the age I am now, I couldn't imagine any of my blood relatives going into a situation like I was in as a kid and not doing everything possible to stop the situation. So, but I don't know what they were going through, or what they were, you know, what was in their head, or what they tried to do. They might have tried something. You know, I do remember at some point one of my aunts trying, you know, but also, you know, you get a ward of the state, you get caught in that system. It's almost like a jail situation, man. You got to do so much to get you out of there. I remember, it's crazy. I remember visits with my mom, and it would be, you know, police in the room while I'm visiting with my mom that I haven't seen in a year, and they got to have police, and they got the two-way mirror, and they're monitoring what she says to us, and it was intense, man. You know, I still remember The Office, man, and what it looked like. I don't even want to go to the building. I try not to look at the building to this day when I drive by it. Right over there off of Sprague, you know, right when you get off the freeway to the left, you know. Yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm just thinking and talking here, man, just tapping in, man. You know, we gotta heal. And I think forgiving people is part of the healing process. You can't be angry or hold grudges. or for me, I'm not. It's neither one of those for me when it comes to the older people in my family. I respect them because they're in my bloodline, but it's like there's a blocker there. So I'm trying to remove that blocker, that emotional block that I have. You know. So hopefully this is a step closer to that. But yeah, man, that's the end of my tap in, man. All right, please hit me up if you want to chime in, man. You want to talk. Hit the comment section, man. We chop it up. Crucial Conversations on YouTube. Crucial Conversations on Instagram. Crucial Conversations on Facebook. Crucial Conversations on Spotify. I'm out there, man. The podcast is doing what it do, man, but the process continues.